cheers. A long time since I've done a talky video like this where it's just me. I thought I'd give you a little bit of an insight into what I've been trying to work through, and that is that very difficult to resolve balance between creativity and productivity. The two I find are often very much mutually exclusive. So by creativity, what I mean is coming up with something new, innovating, experimenting, and that's one of the reasons why you'll perhaps have seen, if you've been watching my channel recently, some ambient music, and that's what you can hear in the background is one of the little experiments that I've been following up. Very much in contrast to the sort of techno and the more rhythm-based stuff that I've done prior to that. When I've got a productive workflow, I can churn out stuff just every day, as I did with my Set Techno project last year in September. I was able to produce one track a day for probably, I think it was a third of the month, maybe 2/3 of the month, and that didn't feel like much of a challenge in terms of the music production side of it. It was more difficult to put the videos together, process them, set them up, all that kind of stuff, than it was to come up with tracks. And that is very much bedded in the fact that I had a workflow that I'm comfortable with, and I can just go back to that anytime I want. Where the two elements of productivity and creativity sort of fell very much in line for that is the workflow that I had with specific pieces of equipment that I have. So what I'm leading to is, in a very rambling sort of way, if you want to be productive, you have to get yourself in a routine. I think that this is my experience I'm spouting about, a routine where you can repeat steps that you're comfortable with, and it's within that process that I think you can throw your creative elements into. Because through producing this ambient music that I'm working on and learning how I can put sounds together, how I can create patches, what reverb settings I want, what kit I'm going to use to change the MIDI or input the MIDI information, all that kind of stuff, that is really, really draining from a creative standpoint. That distracts from all of the bits that you should be going through or I should be going through in my head to make good music. So I think I should be proud, and you should be proud if you're trying new stuff, that you're creating perhaps shit music, or I am at the minute. I think a lot of the experiments that I've been throwing out there aren't good enough by my own standards yet, and that is because I'm still fumbling about with the tools. The very essence of making something good is gonna have to come with knowing the tool set, knowing the boundaries that you're setting. That's another element that I should really kind of outline. That's setting your own boundaries when you're trying to be creative. If you've got a DAW, I mean, I'm going to switch scenes here so you can see what I've got in the background with Ableton. Where are we? Here we go. I'm going to make a foul up of this. Hold on. There we go. So this is not a simple Ableton setup by any stretch. I've got some synth patches set up here, and over here is just channels that take MIDI data from my keyboard here. So I can, for example, let's just stop that for a sec. I can enable this channel and it will send MIDI through to this channel here, which is muted. So let's pick a different one. There we go. Why have I done that? Why haven't I just got the synth on that channel? Well, one of the reasons is that I wanted to be able to quickly jump between different inputs and not have to screw around too much with the actual patch settings. And each of these clips is designed to switch patches. So, for example, those of you that are familiar with Ableton will see that I've got different, what are they called? Brain's gone. Chains, different chains. So each chain has a different instance of the synth Vital and some effects afterwards. So, long story short, if I can click on a clip, it will switch the synth patch. And I wanted to be able to do that away from where all the MIDI is going in from my noodlings. And I wanted to be able to do my keyboard work live as well. So if I pick this patch here, playing through here, and then just click on this clip here, it changes the patch that I'm playing. So there we go. Let's go back to here. So by taking a week or two to put this set together and figure out how I'm going to wire up all the synths, the MIDI data, where that's all going, that's taken all the bandwidth in my head from actually making good music. And because I can't explore the sound design side so much when I'm worrying about all that routing and things, I can't make all the mistakes that I need to learn where the sweet spots are in the synth and so on. So I know exactly what I'm trying to say next. I'm trying to put it into words though. The way industry works on this, as a designer, I'm trained as a designer, is a design cycle. So if you are trying to produce a product for release to market, you go through a design workflow, and throughout that process, that product development process, you aren't actually producing anything of worth yet. You have to go through months and months, or maybe years depending on the product, of development before you can actually sell something and set it out to market. So professionals and big companies will have 2 or 3 products on the go that are for sale while they're developing another one. And you have these arcs where a product will go through its development process, and then it will get ready for marketing, then it will get released, and then it goes out, and then it has a shelf life with a customer, and after a period of time it will become less and less appealing because it will get out of date, or there'll be other products that supersede it, so it tails off. And then the next product that will come out will have the same kind of profile. It will get more and more popular, and then it will get less popular. So as a business, you need to have all these arcs smoothed out so that over a period of time you've got several products intersecting that all smooth out your business, your sales. In an ideal world, that's how I would set up my music work. I would have a project that I'm working on that is kind of in its infancy while I'm throwing out other tracks. I'm a hobbyist, I'm not a professional musician, so trying to do all that all at once ain't going to work. So that's why there's a bit of a lull between the stuff that I was doing before and what's coming out now. But all this is sort of looping back round to say, I think if you want to be creative, then that's one thing. If you want to be productive, that's another. And you have to find the way that you can balance those two, and you can put together a workflow and a functional process that allows you to pick and choose when you're going to focus on one or the other, and how you're going to bring those two together eventually. So if you know your tools really well, if you know your template, if you've got a DAW template, or if you know your kit and the way it's all wired together, then that within that setting is where you can really be creative, I think. So just my 2 cents. If you enjoyed this rambly little video and the moody background music, I'd really like it if you could drop a like. That would be much appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and this kind of stuff appeals to you, then by all means click on the bell and all that kind of stuff. So maybe I'll do more talky stuff in the future, and there'll be some music coming soon, hopefully. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.